The Derelict asked for repairs. It got a human with Vision Part 2. First contact with the vessel Olivia was the first to step out of the wrench and onto the floor of the alien ship. The metal beneath her boots felt solid but somehow different. From any material she knew, the air in the docking bay was still and cold. "Atmosphere check," Ethan said, holding up a small device. "Oxygen levels rising," Susan reported, looking at her scanner. "It was nearly vacuum when we arrived, but now, it's adjusting to breathable levels." Olivia felt a chill run down her spine. "The ship is responding to our presence." They all wore standard spacesuits with helmets, but after confirming the air was safe, Olivia decided to remove her helmet. She took a cautious breath. The air was clean with a faint metallic smell. "It's safe," she told the others. "But keep your suits on. We don't know what else might be here." As the team moved away from their ship, lights came on along the corridor ahead of them. Not all at once, but one by one, as if inviting them to follow. "This is incredible," Kyle whispered. "The power systems are still working after who knows how long." The corridor led them deeper into the ship. Strange symbols covered the walls, unlike any language Olivia had seen before. Yet somehow she felt she could almost understand them if she stared long enough. "The ship's internal gravity is adjusting to Earth normal," Susan said, checking her instruments. "It's like it's trying to make us comfortable." "Or studying us," Ethan added. As they walked, Olivia noticed something odd. While the others simply observed the ship responding to their presence, she felt something more. Each time the lights changed or a door opened, she sensed a pattern, almost like a greeting. After walking for about 20 minutes, they reached a large circular door. Unlike the others they had passed, this one remained closed. "Maybe we need to find another way," Alan suggested. Olivia stepped forward, drawn by an instinct she couldn't explain. "No, I think it wants us to ask." She placed her hand on the door's surface. "We're here to help," she said simply. "Please let us in." For a moment nothing happened. Then the door split into sections that spiraled open, revealing a vast chamber beyond. "How did you know to do that?" Kyle asked, amazed. Olivia shook her head. "I'm not sure, it just felt right." The chamber they entered was clearly the control center of the ship. A circular platform stood in the middle, surrounded by what looked like workstations. Everything was covered in a thin layer of dust. As they stepped onto the platform, the entire room came to life. Screens lit up along the walls, and a soft hum filled the air. A holographic display appeared above the central platform, showing what appeared to be the ship's systems. "This is amazing," Susan said, studying the display. "The technology is far beyond anything we've seen." Olivia approached the central console. The symbols there seemed to shift as she looked at them, gradually becoming more recognizable. Not quite English, but somehow understandable. "I can read this," she said softly. Or, "Not exactly read it, but I understand it." The others looked at her with surprise. "What does it say?" Alan asked. Olivia placed her hands on the console. "It's showing the ship's status. Most systems are dormant or damaged, but the core AI is still functioning." "AI?" Ethan tensed. "The ship has an artificial intelligence?" "Not exactly," Olivia replied, continuing to study the symbols. "It's more like a semi-sentience. Not fully conscious, but not just a machine either." As if responding to her words, the holographic display changed. It now showed the image of a ship, this ship, surrounded by stars. "I think it's trying to communicate," Olivia said. Susan moved beside her. "Can you ask it questions? Find out where it came from?" Olivia nodded and focused on the console again. She didn't speak aloud, but concentrated on forming the questions in her mind. "Who built you? Where do you come from?" The display shifted again, showing beings that looked nothing like humans. They were tall and slender, with 4 arms and skin that seemed to glow from within. "The ancestors," Olivia whispered. "That's what they called themselves." "You can understand that?" Kyle asked, eyes wide. "It's putting the concepts directly into my mind somehow," Olivia explained. They were an ancient species. They traveled the stars thousands of years ago. The display showed the beings disappearing, replaced by a blinding flash. There was some kind of catastrophe, Olivia continued. The ancestors are gone now. This ship has been waiting all this time. Waiting? For what? Alan asked. Olivia concentrated again. For someone to find it, to repair it. Kyle was examining one of the side consoles. From what I can tell, the ship has attempted to interface with other species before us. The display changed again, showing different alien vessels approaching. The Derelict. Then scenes of destruction. The alien ships breaking apart, their crews dead. They failed, Olivia said quietly. The ship rejected them. Why? Ethan asked, his hand moving to his weapon again. Olivia searched for the answer in the stream of information flowing into her mind. They tried to control it, to take its technology by force. The ship defended itself. And it won't do the same to us, Ethan pressed. I don't think so, Olivia replied. It's letting me connect with it. I think it chose us. Chose me. She felt a gentle presence in her mind, curious but not threatening. The ship was studying her as much as she was studying it. It needs a name, she said suddenly. We can't just keep calling it the ship or the Derelict. How about Lazarus? Susan suggested. In the old stories, he was brought back from the dead. Olivia smiled. Lazarus. Yes, that fits. She directed her thoughts toward the ship's systems. We call you Lazarus. Will you accept this name? The lights in the chamber pulsed once, as if in agreement. I think it likes it, Olivia said. This is all fascinating, Alan said. But we should report back to Commander Howard. We've been here for hours. Olivia nodded reluctantly. You're right, but we'll come back. Lazarus has so much to teach us. As they prepared to leave, Olivia felt a gentle tug in her mind. A request, not in words but in feelings. It wants us to come back, she told the others. It's been alone for so long. We will, she promised silently to the ship as they made their way back to the wrench. What none of them noticed as they left was the faint glow that remained on the console where Olivia had placed her hands. A connection had been formed, one that would change both Olivia and humanity forever. Lazarus had asked for repairs, but it had found something much more valuable. A human with the vision to understand it. The Derelict asked for repairs. Got a human. With Vision Part 1, the distress signal. The soft beeping of the alarm woke Olivia Warren from her sleep. She sat up in her small bed and rubbed her eyes. Her room on Orbital Workshop Alpha was tiny, but it was home. The clock showed 3:27 a.m. station time. Computer, what's the alert? She asked, swinging her legs over the side of the bed. Unknown signal detected in Sector 47B. Signal pattern matches repair request protocols but uses non-standard formatting, the computer replied. Olivia was fully awake now. As the station's lead xenomechanical engineer, unusual repair signals were her business. She pulled on her blue jumpsuit with the station patch on the shoulder and made her way to the command center. The hallways were quiet at this hour. Only the night shift crew moved about, nodding to her as she passed. Olivia had worked on Orbital Workshop Alpha for 7 years now. At 35, she was one of the most respected engineers in deep space operations. Commander Frank Howard was already in the command center when she arrived. His gray hair was messy and his uniform looked hastily put on. The signal had probably woken him too. Dr. Warren, he said with a nod. What do you make of this? He pointed to the main screen where a strange pattern pulsed. It wasn't like any standard distress call Olivia had seen before. It's definitely artificial, she said, studying the pattern. The computer is right. It has elements of a repair request, but the format is completely unknown. Olivia sat down at her station and began running analysis programs. The signal was coming from an uncharted region of space, at least 3 days' journey away. There's something else strange, said Lisa, the communications officer. The signal isn't getting weaker. Most distress calls fade over time as power runs out. Olivia nodded. Whatever's sending this has a stable power source. That's interesting. She worked for 2 hours analyzing the signal. The more she studied it, the more convinced she became that it was indeed a request for help. I think we should check it out, she finally told Commander Howard. This could be first contact with a new species, the commander frowned. Or it could be a trap. Pirates use fake distress calls sometimes. Pirates don't use unknown signal formats, Olivia argued. They want to be sure someone will come. This is something different. Commander Howard thought about it for a long moment. All right, he said finally. But you take a small team only, and at the first sign of danger you turn around and come back. Understood? Olivia smiled. Understood, sir. She spent the next day preparing for the mission and choosing her team. She would need people she could trust who had the right skills. First, she asked Alan Patel, the best navigation specialist on the station. Alan was only 30, but could plot courses through asteroid fields that other navigators wouldn't even attempt. A mysterious signal from uncharted space, Alan said when she told him about the mission. Count me in. Next was Susan Garcia, a xenobiologist who specialized in the intersection of technology and organic life. Susan had a theory that truly advanced civilizations would blend the two, and she was always eager to find proof. This could be it, Olivia, Susan said excitedly. The signal's unusual nature could indicate a biotechnological origin. For security, Olivia chose Ethan Mitchell. Ethan was quiet and serious, but he had saved Olivia's life once during a repair mission gone wrong. If there was trouble, Ethan would know what to do. The final member of the team was Kyle Winters, a junior engineer who had been begging Olivia for field experience. He was young, just 24, but his enthusiasm was matched by genuine talent. Thank you for this chance, Dr. Warren, Kyle said when she told him. I won't let you down. They departed the next morning on the Wrench, a maintenance vessel designed for deep space repair missions. It wasn't the biggest or fastest ship, but it had excellent scanning equipment and tools for almost any repair situation. As they left the station behind, Olivia felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. In 7 years of deep space work, she had never encountered anything truly alien. Most of her work involved fixing human-made structures or studying abandoned technology from known species. This signal was different. The journey took exactly 3 days. Alan navigated them through the quickest route, avoiding hazards with his usual skill. We're approaching the coordinates, he announced as they slowed the ship. No visible source for the signal yet. Scan the area, Olivia ordered. Whatever's sending this might be small. Susan worked the sensor station. I'm detecting a large mass ahead, but it's strange. Our sensors are having trouble locking onto it. Put it on screen, Olivia said. The main view screen flickered, and at first they saw nothing but stars. Then Alan adjusted the filters, and a shape began to appear. Everyone on the bridge fell silent. It was a ship, but unlike any they had ever seen. It was massive, easily 20 times the size of the Wrench. Its design was elegant but alien, with curves and angles that seemed to change as they watched. That can't be right, Kyle whispered. It looks like parts of it are shifting. Scan again, Olivia ordered, her voice quiet with awe. Susan checked her readings. It's not actually changing shape. The outer hull has some kind of refractive property that makes it hard to focus on. Life signs? Ethan asked, his hand moving instinctively to his sidearm. None that our sensors can detect, Susan replied. But there is power. Minimal levels, but steady. The signal they had been following grew stronger as they approached. It's definitely coming from the ship, Alan confirmed. Olivia studied the vessel on the screen. It looked ancient yet somehow still functional. Some sections showed damage, while others appeared pristine. It's a derelict, she said, but one that's still partially operational. How is that possible? Kyle asked. If it's abandoned, what's maintaining it? That's what we're going to find out, Olivia replied. She opened a channel to the unknown ship, not really expecting a response. This is Dr. Olivia Warren of the Orbital Workshop Alpha Repair Team. We received your signal and are here to assist. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then, to everyone's surprise, a docking bay opened on the side of the massive vessel. Lights came on inside, creating a clear path for them to follow. "It understood you," Susan said, amazed. "Or it was automated to respond to any communication," Ethan suggested cautiously. Olivia felt a strange connection to the silent ship. Something about it called to her on a level she couldn't explain. "Alan, take us in," she ordered. Slowly. As the wrench moved toward the docking bay, Olivia couldn't shake the feeling that the derelict hadn't just asked for repairs. It had been waiting specifically for them. For her. The docking bay engulfed their small ship, and the massive doors closed behind them with a silent precision that spoke of incredibly advanced technology. "Well," Olivia said as she prepared her gear, "let's go see what kind of repairs this ship needs." None of them could have imagined what awaited them inside, or how it would change humanity forever. The derelict asked for repairs. It got a human with Vision Part 3. The vision takes shape back at Orbital Workshop Alpha. Commander Howard listened carefully to Olivia's report. His face grew more concerned with each detail she shared. "Let me get this straight," he said when she finished. "This alien ship, which you're now calling Lazarus, is somehow communicating directly with your mind?" Olivia nodded. "I know how it sounds, sir, but it's true. Lazarus isn't just a ship. It's semi-sentient." The commander rubbed his forehead. "And you believe this ship contains advanced technology? Technology that could help humanity?" "More than help us," Olivia said eagerly. "From what I've seen, Lazarus holds knowledge that could advance our civilization by centuries. Medical technology, energy systems, space travel beyond anything we've imagined." Commander Howard sighed. "I need to report this to headquarters. This is beyond my authority." Within 24 hours, military ships arrived at the station. Admiral Patricia Collins, a stern woman with short gray hair and cold eyes, took command of the situation. The team was called to a meeting with the Admiral and her staff. The room was tense as they entered. "Dr. Warren," Admiral Collins said, not bothering. With a greeting, "Your discovery is now classified. No one outside this room is to know about it." Olivia frowned. "With respect, Admiral, Lazarus represents the greatest opportunity humanity has ever had. The ship wants to share its knowledge with us." The Admiral's expression hardened. "The ship wants? Dr. Warren, it sounds like this alien technology has affected your mind. Our scientists will examine you before you're allowed to return to duty." "I'm fine," Olivia insisted. "Lazarus isn't controlling me. It's communicating with me, which is precisely what concerns us," Admiral Collins replied. "We cannot risk alien influence on our personnel." The Admiral turned to address the whole team. "We will establish a quarantine perimeter around the alien vessel. A specialized team will begin dismantling it piece by piece for study." "Dismantling?" Olivia stood up in shock. "You can't do that. Lazarus is partially alive, and it won't respond well to being attacked. Previous species who tried to take its technology by force were destroyed." Admiral Collins narrowed her eyes. "Are you threatening me, Doctor?" "No," Olivia said quickly. "I'm warning you. Lazarus has defensive systems. If you try to tear it apart, you might trigger them." "We'll take that risk," the Admiral said coldly. "You and your team will provide all data you collected and then return to your regular duties. This matter is now under military control." After the meeting, the team gathered in Olivia's quarters. They were all shaken by the Admiral's decision. "They're making a huge mistake," Susan said. "If they try to dismantle Lazarus, they could destroy priceless knowledge. Or worse," Ethan added. "If Dr. Warren is right about those defensive systems, they could get themselves killed." Olivia sat quietly, her mind racing. She couldn't stop thinking about Lazarus alone in the darkness of space, waiting. That night, Olivia couldn't sleep. She tossed and turned, her mind filled with images of Lazarus being torn apart by uncaring hands. Around midnight, she drifted into an uneasy sleep, and then the dreams came. She was floating in a vast sea of stars. Before her was Lazarus glowing with inner light. But the ship wasn't just a vessel anymore. It was a window into possibilities. Through Lazarus, Olivia saw visions of Earth transformed, cities powered by clean energy that drew power from space itself. Hospitals where no disease went uncured. Ships that traveled between stars in days instead of years. Humanity, freed from its limitations, spreading throughout the galaxy, not as conquerors, but as explorers and creators. Then the vision changed. She saw Admiral Collins's teams approaching Lazarus, cutting tools ready. She saw the ship's defenses activating, destroying the military vessels. She saw humanity losing its greatest opportunity out of fear and greed. Olivia woke with a gasp. Her room was dark and quiet, but she knew what she had seen wasn't just a dream. Lazarus had reached across space to show her what could be, and what would be lost if the Admiral had her way. She got dressed quickly and sent messages to her team. Within an hour, they had gathered in a quiet corner of the station's garden section. Lazarus contacted me, she told them. It showed me what humanity could achieve with the ancestors' technology, and it showed me what will happen if Admiral Collins tries to dismantle it. What can we do? Kyle asked. The Admiral has made her decision. Olivia took a deep breath. I'm going back to Lazarus. Tonight. I'm going to complete the repairs before they can stop me. Her team stared at her in shock. That's mutiny, Ethan said quietly. Maybe, Olivia admitted, but I believe this is too important to let fear destroy it. I don't expect any of you to come with me. This is my choice. Alan was the first to speak. I'll help you get there. I can plot a course that will avoid the military patrols. I'm coming, too, Susan said firmly. If Lazarus is partly biological, as I suspect, my expertise will be needed. Kyle nodded eagerly. Count me in, Dr. Warren. Everyone looked at Ethan. As a security officer, he had the most to lose by disobeying orders. He was quiet for a long moment. Someone needs to watch your backs, he finally said. I'm in. They moved quickly after that. Using Alan's access codes, they boarded the wrench while most of the station slept. By the time anyone noticed they were gone, they were already heading toward Lazarus at top speed. Admiral Collins will send ships after us, Ethan warned as they flew. Then we need to work fast, Olivia replied. As they approached Lazarus, Olivia felt the connection growing stronger. The ship was eager for her return. It had been waiting so long for the right person, someone who could see beyond the limits of the present. The docking bay opened for them just as before. As soon as they landed, Olivia raced from the wrench toward the control chamber, her team right behind her. The ship seemed brighter now, more alive. Lights pulsed along the corridors as they ran, almost like a heartbeat. In the control chamber, the central console lit up as soon as Olivia approached. She placed her hands on it and immediately felt Lazarus flowing into her mind. Show me what needs to be fixed, she whispered. Show me how to help you. The holographic display came to life, showing complex diagrams of the ship's systems. Olivia understood them instantly now, as if she had always known this technology. We don't have much time, she told her team. Admiral Collins will be here within hours. We need to repair the main systems before then. As they got to work, Olivia felt a sense of purpose unlike anything she had known before. This was why she had become an engineer, not just to fix what was broken, but to build a better future. Lazarus had asked for repairs, and now it had found a human with the vision to see what could be. The Derelict asked for repairs. It got a human with vision Part 4. The impossible repair inside Lazarus. Time seemed to move differently. Olivia worked with complete focus, her hands moving across the alien controls as if she had used them her entire life. The others watched in amazement as she accessed systems they couldn't even understand. How are you doing that? Kyle asked as Olivia repaired a section of the ship's energy network. It's hard to explain, she said, not looking up from her work. It's like Lazarus is guiding my hands, showing me what to do. The connection between Olivia and the ship grew stronger with each passing hour. She could now feel Lazarus's systems as if they were extensions of her own body. When a power relay was damaged, she felt it like a pain in her nerves. When she fixed it, she felt relief. Susan studied the readings on her scanner with growing excitement. The ship's energy signature is changing. It's becoming more stable, more alive. Alan returned from checking the external sensors. His face was worried. We have company. 3 military ships just dropped out of hyperspace. They'll be here in less than an hour. Ethan checked his weapon. We need to secure the docking bay. If they board, they'll try to stop us. Olivia shook her head. No, we need everyone working on the repairs. Lazarus will protect us if we can complete the main systems. As they worked, Olivia began to understand why previous repair attempts had failed. The other species had approached Lazarus with rigid methodologies, trying to force their understanding onto the ship's systems. The ancestors designed their technology to be adaptable, she explained to her team. They didn't want anyone to use it who couldn't think beyond standard approaches. Why? Kyle asked. To prevent misuse, Olivia replied. The ancestors' technology is so powerful it could easily be used as a weapon. It only works for those who approach it with creativity and respect. A communication signal beeped on their ship. Admiral Collins was trying to contact them. Should we answer? Alan asked. Olivia nodded. Put it on speaker. Admiral Collins's voice filled the chamber, cold and angry. Dr. Warren, you and your team are in violation of direct orders. Power, down the alien vessel and prepare to be boarded. Admiral, Olivia replied calmly. We're making progress with the repairs. Lazarus contains knowledge that could transform human civilization. Please give us time to complete our work. You have 1 hour to surrender, the Admiral said. After that, we will take control by force. The transmission ended abruptly. 1 hour, Ethan said. Can we finish in time? Olivia checked the ship's diagnostic display. The main systems are at 70%. We're close. They worked frantically as the minutes ticked by. Kyle and Alan repaired the power distribution network. Susan worked on the biological interfaces that helped maintain the ship's semi-sentient status. Ethan kept watch, reporting on the military vessels' positions. With 15 minutes remaining, Olivia made a discovery that changed everything. This is why the repairs were never completed, she said, studying a complex node in the central system. The final step requires integration with a compatible mind, a partnership. What does that mean? Susan asked. The ancestors designed their ships to be true partners, not just tools, Olivia explained. To fully restore Lazarus, someone needs to connect their neural patterns to the ship's matrix. Like a pilot? Kyle asked. No, not a pilot or controller, Olivia said. A collaborator. The ancestors believed technology should evolve alongside its users, creating something greater than either could be alone. Is it dangerous? Susan asked, concerned. I don't know, Olivia admitted. But it's the only way to complete the repairs. Alan checked the sensors again. Admiral Collins's ships are in position. They're preparing to board. We're out of time. Olivia looked around at her team, at these friends who had risked everything to help her. I'll do it. I'll connect with Lazarus. No, Ethan said firmly. It's too risky. We don't know what will happen to you. I've been connected to Lazarus since we first found it, Olivia said. This is just the final step. Before anyone could argue further, alarms sounded throughout. The ship. The military had begun cutting through the outer hull. We need to decide now, Olivia said. Her team looked at each other, then back at her. They knew she was right. What do you need us to do? Susan asked quietly. Olivia moved to the central console. Help me prepare the interface. Kyle, reroute power to the central chamber. Susan, monitor my vital signs. Alan, keep track of the military's progress. Ethan, guard the entrance. If they get through before we finish, you need to hold them off. They moved quickly, each to their assigned tasks. Olivia stood on the central platform where the ship's systems converged. Holographic controls appeared around her. Are you sure about this? Susan asked one last time. Olivia nodded. I've never been more sure of anything. The interface activated, surrounding Olivia with streams of light. She felt Lazarus reaching for her mind, eager to complete the connection they had, begun days ago. It's working, Kyle reported, watching the diagnostic displays. The ship's systems are responding. Olivia closed her eyes as the connection deepened. She saw the history of the ancestors, their rise and evolution beyond physical form. She saw how they had created ships like Lazarus to find worthy species, to share their legacy with those who were ready. Then the connection faltered. Olivia gasped in pain. Her vital signs are spiking. Susan shouted. Something's wrong. The ship's lights flickered wildly. On the displays, system after system began shutting down. We're losing both of them, Kyle said in horror. At that moment, they heard the sound of cutting tools breaking through the final barrier. The military had arrived. Inside the connection, Olivia fought to maintain her sense of self. The integration was more difficult than she had expected. Lazarus was ancient, its patterns complex and alien. Her mind struggled to adapt. Then she understood the problem. She wasn't supposed to fight the process. The ancestors hadn't designed this as a battle for control. It was meant to be a dance, a blending of perspectives. Olivia stopped resisting. Instead, she opened herself completely to Lazarus, sharing her human creativity, her intuition, her vision of what could be. For a terrifying moment, Olivia's consciousness seemed to disappear. Her body went limp on the platform. "We're losing her," Susan cried out. The military forces breached the entrance to the chamber, led by Admiral Collins herself. Ethan stood before them, weapon raised. "Step aside, officer," the Admiral commanded. Before anyone could move, the ship's lights returned brighter than before. The systems that had been shutting down came back online, one after another. On the central platform, Olivia's eyes opened. But they were different now, flecked with points of light that hadn't been there before. Lazarus had awakened. The Derelict asked for repairs. It got a human with vision part 5. Rebirth and beyond. Everyone in the chamber froze as Olivia stood up. Her movements were different now, smooth and precise. The points of light in her eyes flickered like distant stars. "Dr. Warren?" Admiral Collins asked, her voice uncertain. Olivia smiled. When she spoke, her voice had a strange harmony to it, as if two voices were speaking as one. "I am still Olivia Warren," she said. "But I am also more. Lazarus and I are connected now." The Admiral motioned for her soldiers to raise their weapons. "Step away from her," she ordered the team. "This alien technology has taken control of her mind." "No," Olivia said calmly. "You misunderstand. This isn't control. It's partnership." To prove her point, she turned to face one of the soldiers who had been injured breaking through the door. His arm was badly cut and bleeding. "You're in pain," she said to him. "Let me help." Before anyone could stop her, Olivia reached out and touched the soldier's wounded arm. A soft glow spread from her fingers. When she removed her hand, the wound was completely healed. The soldier stared at his arm in shock. "How did you do that?" The ancestors had medical technology far beyond our own, Olivia explained. "This is just one small example of what Lazarus can share with humanity." Admiral Collins lowered her weapon slightly. "What exactly has happened here, Dr. Warren?" "Lazarus was designed to find worthy species and help them advance," Olivia explained. "The ancestors left behind vessels like this throughout the galaxy. Each contains different parts of their legacy. The ship's systems hummed with new energy. Throughout the vessel, dormant technology awakened, revealing capabilities far beyond what the team had imagined. The ancestors didn't disappear," Olivia continued. "They evolved beyond physical form. They left these ships as gifts for species with the right qualities." "What qualities?" the Admiral asked. "Not just intelligence or technological skill," Olivia said. "Creativity, adaptability, the ability to see beyond the obvious, to imagine what could be instead of accepting what is." Susan stepped forward. "Is Olivia still herself?" Olivia turned to her friend with a warm smile. "Yes, Susan. I'm still me. My consciousness has expanded, but I haven't lost who I am. The ancestors designed this process to preserve what makes each species unique. Over the next few days, Military personnel and scientists from Orbital Workshop Alpha explored Lazarus under Olivia's guidance. The ship revealed incredible technologies, medical systems that could cure any disease, energy sources that would never run out, faster-than-light travel methods that would revolutionize space exploration. A week after the integration, Admiral Collins called for a meeting with Olivia and her team. Her attitude had changed dramatically. "I've reported everything to Earth Command," the Admiral said. "They want to establish a permanent research station here. With your permission, of course," she added, looking at Olivia. "Lazarus will welcome researchers who come with open minds," Olivia replied. "But this is just the beginning." "What do you mean?" the Admiral asked. "There are other derelicts waiting throughout the galaxy," Olivia explained. "Each contains different aspects of the ancestors' legacy. They're calling to us now." Commander Howard, who had joined them on Lazarus, looked excited. "You can sense them?" Olivia nodded. "Through Lazarus I can feel their presence. Some are close, others much further away, but together they form a network that spans the galaxy. We'll need ships," Alan said. "Expeditions to find them." "Yes," Olivia agreed, "and people with vision to connect with them." In the months that followed, humanity began to understand the true gift they had received. Lazarus wasn't just a repository of advanced technology. It was a stepping stone to a new era. The medical technology from Lazarus spread across Earth, eliminating diseases that had plagued humanity for centuries. The energy systems ended resource wars and environmental damage. The faster-than-light drives opened the stars to exploration. As for Olivia, she found herself changed but not lost. Her connection with Lazarus gave her access to knowledge beyond human understanding, but her humanity remained her greatest strength. She could bridge the gap between the ancient wisdom of the ancestors and the vibrant creativity of humanity. One evening, 6 months after the integration, Olivia stood in Lazarus's observation dome with her team. Below them, dozens of ships gathered, as humanity prepared its first expedition to find another derelict. "I keep thinking about how this all started," Kyle said. "With a strange distress signal that only you wanted to investigate. Sometimes the greatest discoveries come from simply being willing to look," Olivia replied. Susan studied Olivia with curious eyes. "Do you ever regret it? Connecting with Lazarus? Becoming something different?" Olivia looked out at the stars, feeling both their ancient light and the bright potential of humanity's future. "No," she said softly. "I haven't lost my humanity. I've brought humanity's greatest strengths to a legacy that had been waiting for exactly what we have to offer. The ability to see beyond the obvious, to repair not just what is broken but to reimagine what could be." Ethan, who had been quiet, finally spoke. "So what happens now?" Olivia smiled as Lazarus's systems hummed in harmony with her thoughts. "Now we explore. We learn. We grow. The ancestors left us a map to the stars, but the journey is ours to make." As the first expedition ships prepared to depart, Olivia felt a deep satisfaction. The universe was full of wonders waiting to be discovered, and humanity was finally ready to embrace them. The derelict had asked for repairs. It had gotten a human with vision, and together they had opened the door to a future brighter than either could have imagined alone. Throughout the galaxy, other derelicts stirred from their long sleep, sensing that the time had finally come. The legacy of the ancestors would live again, carried forward by the curious, creative, visionary species that had finally answered the call. Humanity's greatest adventure was just beginning,